Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carly and I run a handmade small business called Handmade. And today we've got a little bit of market prep to finish up here. So these are all going to be wristlets in the new fabrics that we've got. And these are going to be the medium size book sleeves. So I just want to get these finished up in the new prints for the Watermelon Festival this weekend. So yeah, we're going to be working on that. And it is currently 2:27, so a little later start in the day. I did work on ironing all of these and putting the Pellon inside earlier this morning. So I have been working in here. I just forgot to film that part. So now we're gonna start filming. So it's 2:27 and I'm gonna see how long it takes me to sew up all of these, and I will catch you in a few. It's 2:57 and we have all of them with their top stitch on. So the next step on these is just to stitch them together like this. And I just like to do, like a chain stitch on that. So I'll just do one and then right behind it, we'll do another one. So we will see how long this takes. It should probably be another half hour or so. All right, not a half an hour. It is 3:10. So we've got them all finished here. And I just think this is the funnest thing when they're all attached like that. It just reminds me of, like, I don't know. I just love it. So there they all are. And I'll use my little handy tool here to, separate them. But all of these need now are the metal pieces. And that's why these are a nice little, like, quick project that you can do. And that way I'll have the new prints for the Watermelon Festival. So now we are going to move on to the medium book sleeves. And I will have 2 of each of the new prints and 1 of the watermelon. Let me find that here. All right, so then we'll have 1 watermelon. So I've got all the pockets here, which they will just need the top stitch to hold that fold down, and then we'll put the labels on them. And then those will be ready as well. So I'm just gonna work on putting the liners to the piece of the fabric with the Pellon, and then we'll move on to the pockets. Okay, so I've got all the liners sewn onto the one side of the book sleeve. So I'm just going to pin them together and put the pocket in there as well, because I've got all the pockets done with the labels on them too. But I wanted to update you guys on Star Side. I'm on chapter 22 and it's been a little slow. I'm just kind of like, things are happening, and like I feel like 22 chapters in, a lot more probably should have happened. I do like it so far. It's just a little bit slow. It's a bit of a slow read, but it's okay. So sometimes I need to not have something draw me in like right in the beginning and just wait it out and see what happens. So I'm still liking it. It's been a little bit slow. So, and I have some Kindle sleeves I'm going to pin with the pocket on there as well. And I'm probably bringing too much stuff to the event, but hopefully, it's a good turnout. She's been marketing it and promoting it for months. So, and the weather so far, let's see, it says 40%, but like 2 o'clock, we're at 15%, 3 and 4, 15%, which, I mean, if you know Florida, we're going to have an afternoon shower, but it hopefully shouldn't last too long if it does rain. So I'm just going to bring my sidewalls with me and put them up while I'm setting up the tent, or before like the event starts, so that way if it does end up raining, I can just put them down and we'll be good there. So that's my plan for that. And I am going to do a couple of pencil cases, or the small zipper pouches, in this print, because I have enough of it to make, I think it'll make either 2 or 3 of them. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I'm just going to get started on pinning all of the pockets on. Let me separate these two. And I'm just doing 2 of each of the newer prints for the medium book sleeves as well, like I did with the Kindle sleeves. And then we've got this whole batch of wristlets, which I plan on bringing to work with me tomorrow. Just all they need is just the little metal pieces on there and the key ring, so I can do that at work if we're slow. And then I've got, you know, my pens, and I've got another batch of pens going right now because I had a couple orders for them as well. The pens are just on my Etsy right now, which I need to, once I get this batch done and take pictures of them, I plan on putting them on the website. It's just right now that I don't have any new pictures, so I didn't want to really put them on the website until I get some new photos of them. So, and I did get like pretty much all of the bobbins filled up in there. Normally I only do like 3 or 4 at a time, but I spent the time this morning filling all of them up just so I don't have to bother with it, at least for, you know, a little bit. I don't have too much quilting to do anymore at the moment, so that should be lasting me at least a decent amount of time. So, and I'm so glad you guys liked the hack that I showed last week, because granted, I'm not the one who came up with that. I'm not claiming that I came up with that by any means. I just thought it was awesome, and like, for those of you who didn't know about it, I thought it was super cool. So I'm happy that I could help those of you who also have had that struggle with batting, because I thought it was just me. And I'm like, man, this, you know, company that I ordered this from, it's never been like that. But now that I know about that hack, it's helped out a lot. And for the market, we've got all of the keychain wallets are all full. I'm just rolling with the small zipper pouches that I have. I'm not really making any more of those other than the couple that I have in the new print here. But those are just what I have is what I'm going to bring. Same thing with the essentials pouches. I am not going to have time to do those in the new prints, which is fine with me. I don't have time, and I don't want to stress myself out or, you know, stay up super late, because then I'm just exhausted at the markets, because most of the time I'm setting up by myself, I'm breaking down by myself, and it's just a lot. And when I go to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning the night before, and then getting up at 6 to get there by 7, I'm not going to do that this time. So I just need to take care of myself and my mental health and just bring what we have, and it's going to be more than enough. My biggest fault is over making, and I'm like, okay, because even like with the wristlets, like, yes, I bring a lot of those. I know that I do. But if I only bring 3, I'm like, well, what if somebody wants that print and I don't have it? That's the way my mind thinks. So then I'm like, well, I need to have 6 of each color. And, you know, with the wallets, like, I'm like, oh, is 4 enough per wallet? But it is, and I just have to tell myself that it is. And if, you know, somebody ends up wanting it in the print that I don't have, I'll just, you know, steer them to my website or my Etsy, and they can get it there. I'm still learning how to run a website, because if you have an Etsy, like, they do everything for you. They do all of your taxing stuff. They do all of your taxes on the orders, and then at the end of the year they do all of that for you as well. So it's definitely a learning curve owning my own website and doing it that way. And especially having, which I have like a seller's certificate or like reseller certificate or something like that. And you have to file that quarterly. And I didn't know. And I got fined $50 plus whatever the taxes I had to, you know, pay for, which I thought it was like it went at the end of the year in my taxes, but it's not. So I had gotten a letter in the mail saying like, you know, I owed a $50 fine plus whatever taxes. So I've learned my lesson on that as well. And, you know, doing all of this, like there isn't a master course or anything that I found that will like help, you know, in running a website and all of that. So maybe I just need to watch some YouTube videos on, you know, like Shopify and all of that. So that's in my future. After this market, I don't have another one until September. So I think it's September 12th. It's going to be at a winery in town. It's called like Bottles, Books, and Babes or something like that. So it's at a winery, and it's like a book event. So I'm excited for that one. Obviously, you know, with my Kindle and book sleeves, I think I'll do pretty well there. I've never done a market with them before, but they have markets all the time. It's just my first one with them will be in September. And it's definitely later now. It is 7:48, but I've been doing laundry. I think we've gotten a lot accomplished today though so far. These only have a couple more steps, so I'm going to be able to get these done tonight. That's my goal. But, you know, doing laundry, dishes, cook dinner. I'd seen a recipe on TikTok, which my son, he's so funny. Anytime I try something new and it fails, he's like, "Where'd you see that, on TikTok?" Because many times they have not been good. So, but this one was called like dirty spaghetti. So I didn't follow it to a T. I didn't have, you know, some of the items that they were putting in theirs, but I didn't want to go to the grocery store. I had already been running around today. I had to do a Target pickup, and I went to Walmart because we needed laundry soap and I needed body wash and all those things. And it's just not cheap anymore. And I didn't want to go to the grocery store and spend more money. So I think my goal is, besides like milk and coffee and stuff, but my goal is to like use what we have in the pantry, use what we have in the freezer. And once that is all pretty much gone, then we'll do like a big shopping trip. And you guys will get a kick out of this. So went to Walmart. I needed, the Target pickup was for new pillows for my son's room. And obviously I needed to get pillowcases, and I didn't want to get them at Target because Target can be pretty expensive. So I was like, oh, you know, I'll go to Walmart because I needed a few things there. 4 pillowcases, 4 was $19. And so I'm telling my sister this, like when I'm leaving Walmart, and I'm like, could you believe, you know, like the price of that? And I was looking too, one fitted sheet was $18. One fitted sheet. I couldn't even believe it. And it wasn't even like a decent brand. It was the Mainstays brand, and it was like, I don't know, a cotton blend. I was like, $18 for one fitted sheet, like out of control. So anyways, I was telling her about the pillowcases, and she's like, well, maybe next time you could just make them. And I don't know why my brain didn't even put that together, that I could make the pillowcases. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like in market mode, but I couldn't even believe it. I was like, I am so dumb. I literally could have made the pillowcases for a fraction of that price. And I think the next thing I'm going to be like bulk prepping for the markets coming up like in September and October. My big one is in October, so I need to start, you know, after this market and really, you know, take what inventory I'll have after that and, you know, make a list. But I really need to make AirPod cases, and I make them in a huge batch, because they are just so time consuming. And I think that's what I'm going to do after this market, is just spend a couple weeks doing those. So that way I can just have a whole bunch of them, like pretty much for the rest of the year. Just spend the time bulk prepping them, and then they'll just be done and out of the way. And another reason I don't like to do a lot of outdoor markets, especially during, I mean, I like to do them in the winter time, but like during the summer, is I literally can't. I have eczema really bad, and when I sweat, it just gets 20 times worse. And especially like, I don't know, I just have to wear certain clothes, but it's more so like it's got to be cotton. Anything other than that is just like, I don't know, it feels weird on my skin. So I have to just limit how many markets I do during the summer, because I don't know, I just can't be outside. And even like with my fan and stuff that I bring, they are just, my skin gets tore up. And I am an avid like scratcher. I have to wear like cotton gloves on my hands at night, because I will scratch my skin raw. I know that's kind of, you know, maybe you guys don't want to hear that, but if anybody else suffers from eczema, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, so summer markets are not a good time for me, being out in the weather like that. I love doing them, but my skin can't handle it. So what I've also been wanting to make when I get the time are little like tea bag holders. So I wanted to kind of have a snap, like these little like snaps there that I have on my AirPod cases too. I want it to like open up like a book, but then it has all the little, probably maybe hold like 4 tea bags in there. I think those would be super cute. So I just got to kind of write that out design wise, and then try to figure out how I would sew it. But I think it would be so cute. And for those of you who like to bring tea with you wherever you go. And if I haven't made a product that you guys have been wanting, just let me know down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do that for you. I know kind of like I've been making the same things over and over again, so it would be nice to have something new on the website. So if you've got any ideas or any products that you've been wanting, just let me know in the comments down below. And also, in Audible, I did not know that you could change the speed in which you're listening to the book. And I saw a couple people, they listened to it at like 1.7. And I was like, oh no. And the fastest I have it at right now is 1.2. I can't listen to, how are you understanding what anybody is saying? You can't. So now I'm at 1.2. So it takes down the listening time just a little bit, but I thought that was interesting. I didn't even know that that was an option. You can go faster or slower. So yeah, so I've got all of these pinned together here, and I'm just gonna sew up around the edges there, and then we'll flip them right side out, sew up the liner, and those will be done. And it's 8 o'clock right now, so I will let you know how long these take, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, I just got home from work. It is day 2 of our market prep. Last night I ended up getting like a really bad migraine, so I just kind of like shut everything off and laid down. So we still have our stack of Kindle and book sleeves here that need to be sewn up, as well as quilting those small zipper pouches. But it is 5:56 right now, so we're gonna get started. I ended up picking up my migraine medicine yesterday too, so they only give me 9 at a time, which I know there's a limit, but I try to not use them only when it's dire need. So I just took some ibuprofen and an Allegra, because a lot of my migraines come from allergies that I've learned, and I've tried to do the allergy shots and all of that. I did it for probably, I think, almost 3 months, but I had like a weird reaction to them, and they made me like super tired. So I would get them on Mondays around like 2 or 3 p.m. and I would sleep for 4 to 6 hours. Like right after them, immediately they would like knock me out. So when I talked to the doctor, he was like, yeah, that's your body, you know, like there's too much histamine. So I stopped doing those. So I just, you know, one thing that I've learned, if I don't want to take my migraine pill, is I'll take 4 ibuprofen and an Allegra with my heating pack. My heating pack is my best friend. And yeah, I just laid down last night. So we've got a lot of work to do. Like I said, it is 6 p.m. and the lady, the vendor coordinator for the event, she was on the news 3 times today on 3 different news channels. So I'm like slightly panicking. I know that there's going to be over 200 vendors, but I'm a nervous wreck. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I know I have a lot of product. I think once I get these finished, I might whip up a couple more of the prayer quilts, because I have a couple of these that already have the labels on them. So I've got a good stack here. So I might actually, I did not think I had this many. So this is good. This is really, really good. I'm probably going to work on some of these as well, because like I've said before, those fly off the shelf. It's a low ticket item and people love them. So yeah, that's enough yapping for me. We've got work to do. So I'm going to get to working on these book sleeves. And also, update on Starside. I am on chapter 24 now, and I love it. It was like, it got to a good point, and I know bigger things are going to happen in the book, so it's kind of like I don't want to shut it off. And when I was at work this morning, because I have that hour before we're open, I did not want to turn off my AirPods. I did not want to turn off my audiobook, but I had to. So yeah, but also, while here I am saying to stop yapping, but I'm yapping some more. I brought this to work, a medium book sleeve, because we use tablets, and I was trying to see if they would fit in there, because I want to kind of make, we can't have colorful prints, so it'd have to be black, but if I could make an apron to hold those, because they have like straps, but then it's like when I turn, I'm like banging it on the coolers and all that. So I'm going to try and figure out how to sew something for those at work. But I got all of these lanyards finished. I got all of the metal pieces put on the new wristlets and some of the scrunchy wristlets as well. So I got all of this done at work. And yeah, so I've only got a couple more lanyards to finish here, but I don't have any more elastic, so I'm not even going to bother with that right now. So now I'm going to stop yapping and get to sewing. Haven't shown you Buddy in a while. That my good boy, Buddy. That good boy. He had a little bit of a scab there, so some of his hair is missing, but that good boy, you a goodest baby. Oh, he's such a good boy. Don't know if you guys can see, but that's our evening storm rolling in. We've got, you know, sunshine peeking through over there, but there's the dark clouds. Okay, it is 7:19, and I've got both of these panels quilted for the small zipper pouches, and I've got all of the, goodness, if I could grab them, Kindle and book sleeves here. They're all sewn up. The edges, not the edges, the corners are trimmed, and I just have to flip them right side out and then sew up the liners and do a top stitch. But let me show you outside now, because this is how Florida weather is. So you guys saw like how gloomy it was out there. So only an hour, and let's see. And it's sun shining, a little cloudy, but, and what I'm going to work on now is trimming down these quilted pieces down to the small zipper pouch sizes, and then turning all of these right side out. And those will be finished. So, and then we'll move on. Once I get these cut out, we'll sew these up. I want to say I'm going to be able to get probably, I think 3 or 4 small zipper pouches out of those, but I will catch you guys in a little bit when I am done with all of this monotonous stuff I have to do. Okay, it is 11:32 p.m. I just finished up the last step on these Kindle and book sleeves. I just have to trim off the threads there. I did a batch of pens. I have those going because I have an order for 3 pens. So I said while I'm at it, I'm just going to make a whole bunch of them. I like to at least try to fill up the pen wheel, I guess, as much as possible, like per batch. That way, you know, I get the most out of the epoxy that I'm using and all of that. But we've got 3 small zipper pouches that we're going to be doing. So I've got the labels on the one side, and that'll be project for tomorrow because I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. This bobbin is almost empty, and I don't really want to start another project right now with it being 11:30. So I also cut out some, well, not these were already cut out, but they're 3-inch squares that I'm going to use for some more of the fabric corner bookmarks to bring. And those are a quick little put together. Those don't take long at all to put together. So I'm just going to, tomorrow, I'm going to work a little bit before work, then definitely after work. So my plan tomorrow is the small zipper pouches, these fabric corner bookmarks, and some of these prayer quilts. But I just wanted to give you guys an update for tonight. I am tired. I can barely keep my eyes open, but I just wanted to finish these up. I like to try to finish a project before I go to bed if possible. Yeah, I just wanted to give you that update, and I will see you in the morning. Good afternoon. We are back and probably going to be the final night for market prep. I just got home from work not too long ago. It's 5:13. So I've had my little decompressing time after work, and I've got myself a watermelon Alani, watermelon wave. I really like this one. I try not to drink too many of those energy drinks because they just don't mix well with my skin, and like when I drink those, my eczema flares up really bad in my hands. So I try not to drink those as much as I can, but I need one today. So, and also I get really bad kidney stones. So I actually probably shouldn't be drinking that at all, but you know, it is what it is. It is, like I said, 5:13, and I did work probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours before I went to work this morning. So I trimmed all of the threads off of these prayer quilts and trimmed, you know, around the squares and all of that. Let's get these out of the way. My room is a complete disaster. I don't even know what to say other than it's a mess in here. And this is how it normally gets, you know, right before a market. I see a thread I need to clip here, but I'm trying to figure out my wristlet situation here because I know on my one table, I normally have 2 of the pegboards with my flat wristlets, and I have 1 with the scrunchy ones now, but I have too many different prints now of the wristlets with the new ones. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have to kind of put some of them together, and people will just be able to like search through them and find the ones that they want. So I'm thinking I'll put 3 like of each out at a time, and then that way they can, you know, go through them and see the ones that they want, and I'll just have to refill them as I can. But I still have this bag I need to do as well. Actually, I don't even think I need to work on these, but I got more metal pieces that came in the mail today. But I did this morning also. I finished. I am so scatterbrained. Please forgive me. I don't know. I finished up these 3 pencil small zipper pouches before work this morning. I still need to cut the threads off of these Kindle and book sleeves, but I'm going to finish up this batch of, I've got them all here, of fabric corner bookmarks with all my little scraps because I don't really like to throw anything away. And down here on my floor, I have 2 bins full of scraps. So definitely after this market, I'm going to take some time and go through all of those and just make things with all of them. But I've got my backing piece, I've got my little corner piece, and then I've got my quilted little scrap there. And I'm just going to work on putting these all together, and then just, you know, you just sew them all around the edges there, and it leaves your little pocket, and then I just do the pinking around the edges. But yeah, we are going to get started on these. It shouldn't take me too long. It'll take me longer to do the pinking around the edges than anything, but I'm going to work on sewing all of these, and then I'm going to pin all of the prayer quilts with the cotton pieces and the cross inside and the backing, and that way I can just do the pinking with all of these all together. So yeah, we are going to get started on that. I am obsessed with Starside right now. I cannot stop. I'm in it. I'm like deep in it. So that's what I'm going to be listening to while I finish sewing these up, and I will get with you in just a little bit when we're finished. Okay, so I've got all of the prayer quilts and the fabric corner bookmarks sewn together, and I've got the threads all snipped, and I just have to show you guys. I think this is hilarious. This is just, it is what it is. My floor is a disastrous mess. There's all my corners, some zippers, fabric. There's one of my socks, and it's just a mess in here. So just showing you guys the real and raw of what it is like of sewing. And I do have my pinking shears here that I use sometimes, but I just use my rotary blade. This, I think, is a 45 millimeter, whatever the smaller one is, because this is my 60 millimeter here. It's just got a regular blade in there, but this had a regular blade, and then I realized that Olfa makes pinking blades to go in there, so I just replaced it with the pinking rotary blade. And like sometimes this will hurt my hand and give me like a, what are they called? A blister. So then I'll go to the scissors sometimes, but most of the time I'm just using this blade, and it just trims it right off. I think that it's super easy, and like sometimes it'll get stuck and I'll have like, there's like one little thread there, but I'll just use my other scissors and just trim that off. But I like these because you know, just goes right through them, and there's your little fabric corner bookmark. So I've got all these to cut through, and then I'm just going to do the prayer quilts, and we should be done with the market prep, besides, you know, putting everything in the totes and getting it in the Jeep, and, you know, charging everything. Like I just go through my little checklist and make sure that I have everything, make sure I have my money bag. My iPad is charged. My my Square card reader is charged. What else? I bring my camera batteries, my mic, make sure that's charged, and all of that. So I just make sure to go down my little list, and yeah, so I'm just gonna, I'll time lapse this for you guys so you don't have to, you know, stand with me or sit with me while I do these. So here in just a minute, they will be all finished for you guys. Okay, my hair is a mess. Don't look at it. No judging. But I've got the batch of fabric corner bookmarks all finished, and I just mixed it in with the batch that I had made before. So I have a lot of these. Hopefully they sell really well on Saturday. It's another like low ticket item. I just need to, what I think I'm going to do is I have an extra one of those stands that I put the Kindle and book sleeve on. So I think I'm going to put a book on there open, and then have one like sitting on the pages, just so people know like what they are. Because I had a couple questions, like obviously you can look at it and I have the price sign that says fabric corner bookmark, but a couple of people didn't really understand. So that's why I think it's good to have displays of your product, and just that way it's easier for people to know like what your product is, what it does, and price signs are very important as well. I price everything, and I make them big enough to be seen, and I have them everywhere because I know a lot of people are shy and they don't want to ask like, how much is this? How much is this? So I just put them everywhere. You guys have seen my setup before, and I just like to have them out in the open, and I put them on all my tote bags and everything, so that way they're seen. I'm rambling again, but it is 7:41 now. I'm gonna probably just cut the threads off of that one, pack everything up. I still need to figure out the wristlet situation here and what I'm gonna do with that. But I'm going to just take everything out of the closet, put it in its bins, take down all of the wristlets and small zipper pouches and pack those up. That way I don't have too much to do tomorrow. And I'm gonna go through my list, charge everything tomorrow. I'm gonna get some waters and snacks to bring with me. And yeah, the only thing I realized I was gonna hang these up on the pegboard, but I have to put the little clippy thing on those, so I didn't do that yet either. So I'm gonna do that too tonight. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this week, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave and stay tuned for next Saturday's video, because it's going to be the Watermelon Festival market vlog. And cross your fingers and pray to God that it's a great market and it doesn't rain, because the weather is kind of funky right now. We're having afternoon showers, and I'm just praying to God that it doesn't rain. And again, I thank you guys for hanging out with me this week, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye.